Hey, the Berries bringing you some slightly different content than from what you're probably used to. Today we're going to be talking about adverts, that thing that everyone loves to moan about, but we've actually been taking it quite into our lives more than we've probably realized, both as content creators and as consumers. And the real reason why I made this video was because I came across this Twitter article from the Metro, of all newspapers. The Metro caught my eye, and it was regarding Netflix and their introduction to adding adverts into their service. So if you are unaware, Netflix hasn't really been doing too well lately. They've been kind of struggling compared to their competitors. They've been, their reports have shown a loss of subscribers, share prices have plummeted, and they've laid off staff, which, is maybe a bit more dramatic than what it potentially needs to be, because, if any company's not doing too well, they're going to look at saving money, getting rid of departments that aren't making the money. And, sometimes, big organizations like this have experimental departments, and, if they're not doing too well, then of course they're going to get... So not too unusual in terms of the firing, at least anyway. But because Netflix has had such a large dominance over the streaming stuff for, God, it feels like forever now. This is becoming a bit of a surprise that, Netflix is starting to fall. So I did more research into it. So it looks like the adverts that they're going to want to introduce is basically an ad tier. So here, an ad tier, they want to basically add a cheaper rate, but you still get to see the normal content as usual, but you have to see adverts. So I was like, okay, well, I have like Netflix, I have Amazon Prime, I have Disney Plus. I'm paying for all of these things per month, as some of you might be as well. So I went over and just checked how much I'm paying for these services, and Netflix is really expensive compared to some of the other services. We'll check them out in a second. But Netflix has 3 packages, and even their basic package is already kind of expensive for quite a lot of people anyway. And that doesn't even provide HD. I mean, that's illegal, right? Anyway, the fact that their basic package doesn't provide HD, I think, is very, very bad. Their standard package, £11 per month, will include HD, and you'll get to watch it on another screen, so you and your partner or whatever can watch different shows in your same like flat or house or whatever. £11, it's on the upper end of stuff for sure. It's £11 per month for something is a substantial amount. And then if you're feeling about paying £15-16 a month extra, if you've got a family maybe, or if you just want the Ultra HD, because they charge you extra money, a crap ton more for HD. £16 a month, so you can have 4 screens going on at the same time, so 4 users, so that's, I guess that's a family of 2 adults and 2 children. £16 a month, that's really, really expensive. And then you compare some of this, so remember, the most expensive is £16, the cheapest is £7. You go to Amazon Prime, which you get a load of other benefits and stuff anyway, which we'll talk about, but for £8 per month for Amazon Prime, or cheaper, £6.50 per month if you buy a whole year, you get Amazon Prime Video. But then you get all the other stuff with that. You've got next day delivery, you've got Amazon Music, you've got reading, you've got wardrobe, you've got gaming, which is basic Twitch Prime as well, all the free games that you get with Twitch Prime, and subscribing to your favorite streamer for free. Really bad wink. You got Deliveroo Plus, which I currently use as well, which gives me free delivery if I spend a certain amount of money on some of the stuff. Which saves me a lot of money. It's already saved me probably about £20-25 for my my occasional delivery. Occasional, I say occasional, but I don't, not all the time. So you're already gaining a ridiculous amount of benefit from Amazon Prime anyway, and the videos included on that, and it costs basically £6.50. It's cheaper than the basic on Netflix. It shows how outdated it is. And you do get HD, by the way, with Prime. Okay, they don't give you standard. I don't even know what HD the resolution it's not 480p. 720, is that classified as HD? I'm assuming you get 720p at least with basic. You would hope so, right? It's crazy. And then Disney Plus as well, similar rate with Amazon. Obviously you don't have, all the other stuff that Prime gives you, but Disney have a lot of good shows as well. You got all the Star Wars, you got the Marvel stuff as well, and a bunch of other things. That is at a similar rate. That's £8 per month, but you can get that cheaper if you buy a whole year. So it really comes down to is, are you getting the value for money with Netflix anyway? And my answer is probably no. There's a lot of good TV on at the moment. On Netflix, okay, to be fair, they've got Stranger Things that's out at the moment, and then there's some more episodes out in July. They've got the Umbrella Academy Season 3 that they just brought out, and there's lots of other like random stuff and kids TV shows that you could maybe benefit from if you have children, or if you just are a brony or something. But Netflix shows aren't bad for sure, but then it becomes to, is it worth having it for £16? I'm sure most people are probably just signing up for one of these packages for when their favorite, thing comes out. Like, say if they're really interested in Stranger Things, they subscribe to it for a couple of months so that they can watch it, and then unsubscribe and then resubscribe again at a later date. Let me know in the comment section below if you're one of those people, because I really am interested in here if how many people are doing that anyway in the first place. Because I think it's more of a fact that there just isn't that much good TV generally coming out from Netflix anyway, and that's probably why the subscriptions are dropping anyway. The content isn't there. I mean, with the Amazon stuff, you still have The Boys. You got a bunch of other movies. There's a couple of other TV series as well, which I can't remember of. That one that they spent millions and millions on, which was only okay at the end. But then, you're getting a bunch of TV that you're getting to watch anyway, and the other stuff that Prime gives you, which you will probably use at some point anyway. And then the Disney Plus, remember, that's the same stuff as well. So while researching about Netflix introducing adverts into their subscriptions, it got me thinking about a couple of other things. One of the main ones was actually, are these other things like Prime and Disney Plus going to be doing this? And it turns out Disney Plus is going to be actually introducing adverts into their subscription model, or at least they plan to anyway. And I was thinking as well, are there actually any other service providers that are doing this anyway? And it turns out, you may have heard of Hulu. They apparently already do that. So if you're in the UK, you probably aren't aware of them as much, but they're another content provider. They're actually more on the upper end. This is their ad-supported plan that costs $7 per month, so slightly cheaper than more like £6 per month. But the no ads is basically double the rate. So it's still pretty expensive, honestly, just to get the ad package alone. So you're getting the privilege of seeing ads, and you're still having to pay $7 per month. Sorry. And then you've got these other packages as well. You've got Hulu, and you've got the with Disney Plus and ESPN, and then it gets really difficult in terms of how much money are you going to be saving, how much money are you going to be paying. I mean, there's a service here for $76 per month. You can get all of this random stuff. $76 a month. Is anyone actually paying that? I don't know. It seems insane. But apparently the content's good. I guess if you're literally just watching TV all day and you got a lot of money, then I guess you'd probably be signing up to something like that. But yeah, we're turning into a streaming service now, where it's the providers are now going to be shoving adverts into our face a lot more often. And that kind of gave me some self-realization that I've been doing that to my viewers already, in terms of pushing more adverts onto my own viewers. So if you are not aware, Twitch, for a lot of Twitch partners in the last few months, have added an ad incentive program. So you can see from this month alone, a large chunk of my ad revenue this month was in around about April. A huge chunk of my revenue came from adverts. So about 40% ish of my revenue came from adverts. This month is going to be way bigger than that. If I go to my current ad plan for this month. So Twitch basically say, if you stream X amount of hours for a month, we'll pay you on basically an hourly rate, depending on how many hours of you stream. So for this month, for June, if I stream 185 hours, I will earn $4,700, which is an insane amount. But I have to run 9 minutes of adverts per hour, which is an insanely high amount. So that correlates to every 20 minutes, I will play 3 minutes of adverts. I have things and tools at my disposal to kind of stagger those adverts out a little bit. So if there's a more natural ad break, I can press a button and make the ad play sooner, and it skips the next ad break to make it a little bit more viewer friendly. Next month's going to be a little bit calmer in terms of ad revenue, but these are kind of like the ad incentives that they're offering content creators right now on the Twitch platform, and it's a lot of money. So this is my July. So in July, I'm going to be running 8 minutes of adverts per hour, a fewer amount of ads, but this adds up to around about $25 an hour of advertising. Whereas before, in the past, the ad revenue was honestly super terrible. So all of these content service providers are, pushing the adverts, trying to make more money from the adverts. And I've been doing that as well. Not only just from this ad incentive, mind you, taking up natural sponsorships anyway. Even this morning as well, I was making a pre-roll advert for one of my YouTube videos. I play video games sometimes on stream in terms of, sponsored video games. I've been doing that a lot more recently. So adverts have honestly been taking over my life and I've been pushing adverts honestly quite a lot over the last few months. So it's kind of made me realize, well, what is the kind of result of pushing all of these adverts as a content creator? What is the consequence? Well, you would naturally think that your viewership would drop off. You can kind of see this more clearly in terms of my YouTube stats. So a little bit of background here. If you look around this May the 5th, viewerships per day, around about the 9,000 mark, not the biggest YouTuber in the world. This at the top here, the stats are for the last year. There's a bit of a spike up here in viewership. This is roughly where I start my Unranked Diamond series and do a challenge. And I post from 2 videos today, around about to 3 videos a day. But even posting an extra video per day, it doesn't really correlate to the extra amount of views, really. And particularly in terms of if you look at the revenue. So this is the viewership spike mainly because I'm adding an extra video per day. But if you actually look at the revenue spike, it's considerably bigger than the previous peak. So we've gone from about 20-ish, £25 to £30 average per day, to around about, 60 to 70 per day. So basically double, even though I'm not posting double the amount of videos. But one thing I did actually change was I added an extra ad segment per video. I wanted to see what would actually happen. And it turns out my viewers watch the same, or in fact more, the same amount per video, but they're happy to watch the extra ad, and it means I make more money off of it. And I'm sure the same companies like Netflix and Amazon Prime and Disney Plus and all these other, Hulu obviously doing it already, have noticed stuff like this and go, well, viewers, as long as you're not going too rampant with it, don't seem to mind, and it doesn't actually seem to impact the viewership numbers that much if it does, and the monetary value from doing it far outweighs maybe losing only a couple of % of your viewership. Which has put me at a bit of a conundrum, because I feel bad that I'm doing this, but on the flip side of this, well, I'm getting actually paid, a more livable wage from doing what I'm doing right now, which is kind of insane. So I'm in this conundrum at the moment, and I'm sure I'll discover in the next, maybe the short-term impact isn't that big, but the long-term impact kind of kind of could be, and I need to be careful about that. But I don't want to be in the situation, and I'm sure, hopefully, that the Netflix and stuff doesn't turn out this, where you into this Subway meme, which you probably are aware of it, where you've got the whole program basically being taken up by product placement. Like this. This is a real show, by the way. This happened.
Shrimp, perfectly healthy.
Not the way I make them, but this Subway sandwich, so ono. Okay.
And this goes on for a full, like, near minute. If you can see, it goes on for 50 seconds long. 50 seconds ad placement for Subway in a 20-minute American TV show. Insane. And imagine watching Netflix and, you know, Stranger Things, you know, the main characters go, hold on, we're going to stop for killing the bad guys. I need to have a sip of my Coca-Cola. Oh, it's really refreshing. Don't you think you want to try it? Oh, yeah, it's great. Completely immersion breaking stuff. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be ending up into a situation like that, but who knows? Maybe in 10 years' time, we'll get more product placement and more ads chucked at us. And how much as a viewer are we going to be able to tolerate before we just go, not interested? Let me know, and do let me know if you like these kind of videos as well. I haven't done one of this like this before. Maybe I'll bring out something out in the near future like this. And take care, all the best, and enjoy the ads that are probably coming after this video. Bye.